So this guy is the guy I come to check on my render settings every now and again, because these things can change. I mean, they really can change a lot, depending on what the platforms are doing. We were talking Facebook, Instagram, all that kind of stuff. And as you can see, this is just one of the videos that I've randomly picked out from Matt's channel. And this is export high quality Twitter videos. This guy is called Matt Johnson, and he's just such a great guy. I love his whole style. I love his just everything. I'm gonna leave him playing here, but I can't use his audio. But he's brilliant, and he will deep dive into all export settings depending on what platform you're uploading to. So this is particularly for Twitter, and you can use so many different presets if you want to absolutely make sure that it's completely correct for the platform that you're uploading to. And the way in which you do that is, let's go to here now, again, export. And you saw I had a preset of CBR20. Well, let's say I changed up a couple of things as per what Matt had said, and I know that that is going to be for Twitter. Well, there's something that I haven't touched on yet, and I'll briefly show you, and then I'll tell you to completely ignore. And that is in this drop down of presets, because we're in H.264, in this load of presets, I've got my preset at the top, but all the way through here, you've got different types of presets. And now they have Facebook presets and Twitter presets and Vimeo presets and YouTube. There's a reason why I wouldn't use any of them. And it's mainly because there's every chance that they're not going to be the most up to date. And if they are, they're not necessarily going to work with everything that you need them to work with. To make that a little bit maybe clearer as to, what we've been talking about in the past, remember what I said about creative LUTs and how this LUT right here might be great for footage that you shot a couple of weeks back and it was brilliant, but put it onto here and it doesn't work very well at all. Well, that's the same as kind of what I'm talking about when I talk about the presets for export in Premiere Pro. I just don't trust them, and I don't think you should either. So I have my CBR20 preset. I do normally have a load more presets, but I've updated and I've reinstalled, and I hadn't backed up my settings. Remember, you can do that by this bad boy down here. And I'm going to need to rebuild them all again. But let's say I've changed a lot of things around, and that's the right thing that Matt says for Twitter. And Twitter is one that I'm going to be doing a lot for. So what do? I come up to here, and this will then say custom. Let me just change something. No, let's say it's optical flow. So now we've got custom. So I know that I've got no preset saved in here which has all of these settings exactly as they are. So you could come straight up to here and save preset. And actually, rather than Twitter, I'm going to say this is CBR, constant bitrate of 20, but it's optical flow. So I'm going to come up here and it'll actually show you what was the base preset that we've built this on, because it comes in as a suggestion. So I'm going to say this is CBR20, and I'm going to say optical flow. And now I press OK. Don't worry about saving effect settings or publish settings. Again, we don't use publish anyway, and hit OK. Now I have that preset of optical flow. I also still have my CBR20. And this is where queuing comes in really handy as well, because let's say we want to export, say we do have, up here we've got Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, and they're all ever so slightly different. Well, that's cracking. We come into here and we say, right, okay, this one is for Facebook. So we'll go in here and we'll say it's exactly that video, and it's FB for Facebook, and hit OK. That's good. And I'm going to hit Q. That's then going to open that up in Media Encoder. Then what we're going to do is while that's doing that and getting that ready, we're going to export again, and we now want to do this for I'm going to use these just to show, but obviously you don't use these. Let's say we want it as Twitter as well, so we'd use the Twitter preset and come back into here, and we're going to title this Twitter. You see what I'm doing here? And then I'm going to hit Q, and then I'm going to come back in here, and let's just do one more, and I'm going to say this one is for YouTube and 1080. So I'm going to go back in here. Am I selecting that to make it easier for me as a base file name, and I'm going to say YouTube. And now all of a sudden I've now queued those three without slowing down any of the system, because nothing has been doing. All we've been doing is preparing everything. And then when we're ready to render all these out, we just once again hit play. And now what we're doing in no time at all is we're populating this renders folder with all these different versions ready to be used in whatever way we want. If I go with that for the list, that's the original one that we rendered out, and we now have a YouTube version, a Twitter version, and a Facebook version all done. And once I queued them all up, it was just literally hitting play and it starts. It's brilliant. It's so good. But making sure that you're using the right settings, not the inbuilt presets in Premiere Pro. This guy will be your savior. Look at his funny little face. He's brilliant. I've watched him for years, and he's an absolute treasure trove of settings, both for sequence settings and for export settings. He's brilliant. So I highly recommend Who is Matt Johnson. That's the end of all the basics. We're now going to really deep dive, and I have a little bit of an explainer at the beginning of the next section, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you there.